we're in the end game now. With Thanos, that was a cliffhanger. Squid Game finale, baby. We have made it to the season 2 finale. Thank you guys so much for being on this magical journey with us. We're probably going to have a reasonably lengthy discussion afterwards. Who knows? Or maybe we're going to call it quits because we're both a little tired, but awake. Super awake for the finale. But not now. We're going to do this, guys. Please go ahead. Leave your thoughts down below on what you thought about Squid Game Season 2. Leave a like on this video. And hey, Prepper, you guys killed it. Absolutely killed it. I know you did. I can see the future. And in the future, I see you guys being part of our Patreon page. Over there, you get the full-length reaction watch-along where you sync up with your own copy. Cover several things over there exclusive with highlights and watch-alongs included. John, are you ready to get this show on the road?
I'm ready. One more game. One more game.
And one more. Buy a shirt. Buy a reject. This is the first shirt we ever created. It's the ones. The Squid Vecna and the whatever. We got better ones too. Let's do this. Snap your fingers.
Yeah. Oh my.
Unlike Thor, he went for the head.
He did. I bet that was an intentional little Easter egg for us. Back to Vormir with you. Ooh. Give me all your drugs.
Stick the fork like nothing.
Oh. Ah. The forks make it so much nastier.
Fork deaths are something else. Oh my gosh. They have to know this is what's going on.
Oh, they want this, yeah.
They're fully aware this is what's going on.
What a great shot. Friend or foe?
Must be talking about our man.
Friend or foe in.
What? What happened? All of them are like, what do you mean?
Gung-Soo would have been so sad if he had lived to see this moment. Of course.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Nice round number.
95 players left in the final episode.
Welcome back, gang.
The ones who want to leave were the ones who initiated trying to kill you guys.
니들이 먼저 우리 편 죽였어. 내일 투표 이기려고 한 거잖아. 니들이 우리를 다 죽이려는데 가만히 있어 그럼.
Damn, it's a civil war up in here.
어느 쪽이 더 죽었다는 거야?
Jeez.
인원 점검 좀 해봅시다.
I feel like there's more people on the O.
There's gotta be.
First man he's ever killed.
Oh, what are you gonna find? Oh boy, yep, yeah, turnover, good. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. Oh, just doing a little bit of light reading late at night with my flashlight.
선장님? 거기서 지금 뭐 하시는 거예요?
He's messing with the goddamn drone.
제 드론 아니에요? 아니 내가 잠이 안 와가지고 뭐 좀 찾다가.
This is a terrible lie. You are lying really, really, really bad.
지금 이거 건드린 거예요? 아니야, 그냥 보기만 했어.
You're dead.
Yeah.
딱 나는 게 너무너무 신기하잖아. 어? 자 이제.
Are you wiping footage?
아이고 술 냄새. 빨리 들어가서 좀 자. 어?
No one will believe your story.
당신 뭐야?
There he is.
God damn it. Is this some rule of the games that they have to hire the most like affable people?
Who are you really?
거기 누구야? 최 이사. 나야 박 선장. 잠도 안 자고 밖에서 뭐 하세요?
He's gonna kill him one by one.
가는데 밖에서 무슨 소리가 들리는 것 같았어. 저도 들었는데 누가 막 소리 지르는 것 같고 그러다 우당탕거리고.
And some stabbing sounds.
Put it together.
갑판을 때리는 소리였나 봐. 이거 봐. 엉망이잖아. 아, 그러네.
It's definitely the sound of plastic bins.
But see, they didn't play it like a big reveal, so I feel like the way he wanted us to know.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they didn't play it like a big reveal.
Yeah. It's gotta be more complex or something.
Or they just fail to land. They reveal.
They just really
and we
dropped
were
the
like,
ball.
oh, no, that was very obvious, actually. Yeah.
It's always perched up there.
3명 죽었어. 그럼 쟤들은? 우리 쪽은 2명 죽었어요.
Damn.
48대 47. 우리가 마음만 받기만 한도 이겼습니다.
Christ.
내일이면 나갈 수 있어요.
Please don't talk.
30분 후에 소등하겠습니다.
You better build that fort.
취침 준비를 해주시기 바랍니다.
다들 마음 바뀌면 안 됩니다. 제 투표에서 내일 꼭 무조건 나가는 겁니다.
You better build that fort.
이제 진짜 나갑시다. 자, 이제 그만 자볼까?
How he's like so still in the midst of all them.
I know, I'm craving mozzarella sticks too, John.
Yeah, oh my god. That should be one of the games. How many mozzarella sticks can you eat in 5 minutes?
Oh my god.
딜리버리 팀이 출발했습니다.
물건 상태는
이번엔 전부 최상입니다.
11분.
그년도 맑게 알아들었으니까.
Or maybe she's the friend or foe. Maybe there's a lot of friends or foes.
Yeah.
Like the fisherman. This guy.
They're saving lives.
Koijandro.
Koijandro, friend or fojo.
스페셜 게임이 시작됩니다.
Special game.
그리고 일꾼들은 지정된 장소로 신속히 이동해 주시기 바랍니다.
Oh no. Alright, 11, let's get some badass something or other going here.
소등 20분 전입니다.
What's the special game, John?
취침 준비를 해주시기 바랍니다.
저 동그라미 새끼들 뭔가 수상한데요. 뭔가 지들끼리 작당 모의하는 것 같은데.
I'm sure they're thinking the exact same thing about you.
아까 화장실에서 진짜 장난 아니었다는데.
Crazy shit went down.
불이 꺼지면 저쪽에서 우리를 공격할 겁니다. 정말요? 상금도 쌓을 수 있으니까요.
Then they get out. Then they can leave. Let's attack them first. Oh man.
우리가 제 투표만 기다리고 있을 거라고 생각할 겁니다. 그걸 역으로 노려서 불이 꺼지면 우리가 먼저 공격하는 겁니다.
I'm on his side, John.
우리 쪽에 여자랑 나이 든 사람이 더 많잖아요. 공격을 당하면 불리해요. 우리가 먼저 기습하는 게 승산이 더 높아요.
The second anyone attacks, it's all bets off.
Not if they use cyanide,
Yes.
which I know some of them have on them.
Yes, abundantly.
이제 더 이상 침착하게 할 땐 지났다고.
그렇다고 우리끼리 서로 죽고 죽일 수는 없습니다. 그게 바로 그놈들이 원하는 겁니다.
Hey, what was it you were saying about this guy earlier?
그놈들? 이 게임을 만든 놈들, 그리고 우리가 이 게임을 하는 걸 지켜보는 놈들.
The VIPs.
우리가 싸워야 한다면 그놈들과 싸워야 합니다.
Dude, trying to overwhelm the soldiers, yeah.
어디 있는데요?
Is the question.
저 위.
And only he doesn't look up.
Yeah, good catch.
컨트롤하는 놈들과 시설이 있어요. 검은 가면을 쓰고 있는 자가 대장입니다. 그놈을 잡으면 우리가 이길 수 있어요.
Ironic.
어떻게 싸울 건데요? 그놈들은 총이 있어요.
Lots of guns. And all the X's are sitting in a circle.
Ironic.
스페셜 게임이 시작됩니다.
Oh my god, have a Captain America fight right now. Take them all out 11.
홍이 어디 있어? 뺏으면 돼.
Lots of their guns.
It's a lot easier said than done.
가면들한테요?
Who else?
We'll lose people in the process, but if enough of us overwhelm them.
총을 몇 자를 뺏는다고 해도 저쪽에 우리보다 숫자도 많을 거고.
그렇다고 여기서 밤새 서로 죽고 죽이면서 그게 영희 씨가 원하는 겁니까?
승산이 있을까요?
기습하면 승산이 있습니다. 저놈들이야말로 우리가 먼저 공격할 거라고는 예상하지 못하고 있을 테니까요.
I feel like it's mainly a psychological thing for you guys right now. 'Cause I feel like physically you guys can overpower them.
마지막 기회입니다.
총은 어떻게 뺏을 건데요?
You going to take their guns.
싸움이 일어나면 기회가 올 겁니다.
Look to the north. Rohan will ride.
Light the beacons.
타노스 개 병신 같은 새끼 무시하고 있어 씨발.
And yet, you were gassing him up the whole time.
That could be way too many men. Or whatever this mysterious fake substance is.
It's actually placebo. They just chopped up little pieces of chalk.
Take it all.
Yeah, you're gonna
You might move too slow.
please let the rest of this episode be hyper surreal.
이명기, 이따 불 꺼지면 바로 숨어. 무슨 일 생겨도 절대 나서지 말고. 그리고 너 피 좀 닦아.
Oh, she cares. It's just because he has a big following.
Yeah, she doesn't really know that he
That's all
tried to
she's
defend her honor.
after. What is Oh my God, the sneaking begins.
불이 꺼지면 조용히 침대 밑으로 이동하세요. 우리를 공격하려는 놈들에게.
Pupils must be huge.
I know, the guy must be tripping balls right now.
Yeah. His eyes are all pupil right now. It's like Mr. Burns coming out of the woods. Wow! Wow! Grim. Oh no!
Wow, this is a full-on fight right away. No hesitation. You could just pretend to be dead.
You could.
싸움이 끝날 때까지.
How will you not be found?
X 쪽이 많이 불리할 것 같은데.
하지만 우리가 싸움에 끼어들었다가 우리 중에 몇 명이 죽거나 다치기라도 하면 계획이 다 틀어질 겁니다.
God damn it.
지금 이 인원보다 적은
Right to him.
수제로는
대의를 위해서 작은 희생은 감수하자는 건가요?
Oh boy.
이번 기회를 놓치면 더 큰 희생을 치르게 될 겁니다.
These dudes are playing chess.
One of them is. The other guy has no idea what he's doing. Gi-Hun is not playing chess with him.
They're at least in their own game together. Checkers or whatever it is.
기훈 씨 뜻에 따르겠습니다.
Oh my God. Is he gonna kill him?
I don't know, man. Oh no. Oh God.
That's so sad.
싸움은 길지 않을 겁니다. 저놈들도 참가자들이 다 죽거나 불구가 돼서 다음 게임을 못하게 되는 건 원하지 않을 테니까요.
This story is definitely not going to end this episode.
Oh, no way. No. Oh, please kill him. Please win. Oh, you better man up.
Come on, dog.
You've got a bottle for a reason.
Come on, dude. Og.
Yes.
Yeah, create the opening for her at least.
Win.
Get him. Get him. No. Get him. No. Jump on him.
Oh, he's just watching her.
God damn
God
it,
damn
man.
it, dude.
Oh. That sucks.
I know. I really liked her.
상황을 정리하기 시작할 겁니다.
Okay, all going according to plan so far.
싸우는 사람들을 통제하느라 죽어있는 사람들의 신경은
Wow, the old guy's like unscathed.
Yeah.
확인하기 위해서 탈락자 체크에 스캔을 하려고 할 겁니다.
That's when we strike.
Smart. They're faking their deaths.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, they are really doing this.
Whoa.
Oh shit, they are really going for this.
They are going for it. Damn.
But they're not going to get any of the money now.
Nope.
Oh my God.
Even he's participating. Money where mouth.
What is going on right now?
It's another dream. Damn, Gi-Hun's a decent shot. Shooting range paid off.
Nicely done.
Yeah. Ooh. And you're ex-military too, so.
Yeah, they are all professionally trained.
Grab a couple more.
Weird.
Nope. Cold. You got a hostage.
I'm really conflicted about this. Because, like, everyone here still wanted the money to walk away, right? Unless they've all just joined Gi-Hun's philosophical side of this, you know?
당신 눈에는 저놈들은 사람이 아니에요. 눈깔 뒤집힌 벌레 같은 것들이에요.
Jesus, dude, no.
Nope, that's the point.
우리가 이러저거 총을 뺏은 게 아닙니다. 저 가면 쓴 놈들과 다를 게 없어요.
Can you still walk away? Is there any part of the plan that allows a lot of them to walk away with the money?
I have no idea.
Because that's the
At
part
this
of it where I'm
point-
like, I feel like a lot of them still want money, right?
Oh, absolutely they would.
the axes who rebelled.
모두 아래로 모여주세요. 우리 여러분을 해치려는 게 아닙니다. 모두 나와주세요.
총과 탄창을 수호해 주세요.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great shot.
병력들 좀 못 지켜시켜.
Oh, what do we got? 11.
I'll roll with this for now. But I got some questions.
Oof.
이제 우린 가면 쓴 놈들의 본부로 가려고 합니다.
How?
우린 이곳을 가둔 놈들을 잡아서 이 게임을 끝내고 그 죄값을 치르게 할 겁니다.
Both monetarily and spiritually.
총기를 다룰 줄 아는 분들 중에서 저희와 함께 가실 분들은 앞으로 나와주세요.
I don't think a lot of them felt like they were captured, though. You know, like, do you get where I'm coming from on this?
Yes. I mean,
like, I don't feel like they view them as the enemy. The people in the headquarters, like they still wanted the money from them and everything. They're still participating.
저도 많이 겁나거든요. 근데 지금이 아니면은 다 같이 살아서 여길 나갈 수 있는 기회는 다시 없을지도 몰라요. 같이 싸워서 같이 집에 갑시다. 다 같이요.
Come on, Mama, take up a gun.
같이 싸우겠습니다.
All right.
나오세요.
I mean, even the asshole guy had objections when they first got here. Like, I get what you mean, though. Like, some of them still might want to be within the rules and be like, see, we didn't mutiny, we'll take the money, but I don't know.
I guess I haven't felt like the season's been building at all to anyone really here as a collective, feeling like I hate these people, we got to take them out.
Yeah.
각자 종기랑 탄약 확인하세요.
무전기 하나씩 소지하겠습니다. 주파수는 행운의 7번으로 하겠습니다.
아까 고마웠습니다.
소주 한 잔 사세요.
And some shawarma.
Homeboy's very committed right now. I still don't know why.
Yeah.
I have no idea why.
Is the captain also a prisoner?
위로 놓으면 단발입니다. 지금 우리가 가진 여분의 탄창이 별로 없으니까 마지막으로 이 탄창을 결합하고 위쪽 손잡이를 당겼다가 놓으면 아시겠습니까?
And don't point it at anybody you don't want dead.
아니 어떻게 이렇게 총에 대해 잘 알아요?
You play video games.
Good God.
특전사 중사였어요.
Sergeant first class.
Damn.
맞아.
Is that 11?
아이고야. 엄마 아빠가 너 이러고 다니는 건 아시냐?
Answer the question.
니네 대장이 있는 곳으로 우리를 안내해.
How's it? Zip it up.
Okay, I'm more on board with it. Consider it's just a small group that wants to go.
Yeah. And the rest of us will get back to killing each other.
Yeah.
자 여러분, 지금은 잠자리에 들 시간입니다.
It's bedtime.
참가자 여러분, 지금은 잠자리에 들 시간입니다.
집에 가도 꿈에 나올 것 같지 않냐?
지금 즉시 숙소로
Hey.
Whoa!
Get down, yeah. How strong are those 8-bit stairs?
The styrofoam will hold.
Yup.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy.
Damn, you're badass.
Badass indeed.
Oh my god. This is a full-on action movie now.
Yeah.
사격 중지! 사격 중지!
Oh yeah. Get that shutter speed.
예, 괜찮습니다.
That Marine is panicking.
Yeah.
Amazing shot.
절대로 접근하지 못하게.
Protect middle management at all costs.
me, please.
Yeah, guys. I don't know how to shoot a gun, actually.
Maybe grab a walkie, too, so you can hear what they're saying.
Oh, yeah. You gotta get on their channel.
저 끝을 돌면 관리자 구역에 입구가 있어.
I don't know, man.
뭐 하는 거야?
통과하려면 마스크가 있어야 돼.
Damn you.
Yeah.
This is your first time in combat.
Whoa.
Wow,
Cool.
what a shot.
That is a pretty epic ass shot. Damn.
Nice zoom, damn.
Oh, that
Zoom package
love
working
the
overtime.
chaos of all of it.
제가 관리자 구역 입구를 찾아볼게요. 찾을 수 있겠어요? 저도 같이 갈까요?
Nope.
내가 같이 갈게요. 여기서 시간을 더 벌어주세요. 형부야, 가자.
I think he wants to see if he can actually do this.
Like, he's letting all this happen.
I can't tell if he's like the captain, but like a prisoner of some greater degree. Like, He won the game. He's either faithful but philosophical, or oh.
I love the details of that shot. It's them centered.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, you don't fight like a Marine at all.
He lied to us.
You need the mask.
Ah, now he's behind the mask. It's like a QR. This is a new color. Hey. Not bad.
너는 여인 씨랑 오면 되지 왜 날 걸 보냐?
그래도 네가 내 친구잖아.
You're not my foe.
이 새끼는 급할 때만 친구해.
Ouch.
관리자 구역으로 들어왔습니다. 좀 더 위로 올라가 보겠습니다.
It's like, damn, there's photos of me everywhere.
Everybody knows my face. God, that endless purple hallway.
I wonder if you like watched video games recently. Like in preparation for this. It seems like you really made this more of an action show.
Harvest some more masks too.
Damn, homeboy really does move like a guy who knows how to use a weapon.
Yeah. This is cool.
To think of how they were in the first episode to where they are at now.
Yeah. Grab a mask, bro.
이제 오른쪽으로 가지.
이놈들이 나타난 쪽으로.
Up.
컨트롤룸 계단 막아.
There are so many of them.
The hell am I paying you for? What you wouldn't get for one grenade right now.
Where is 11?
Yeah.
There's
out
so
here.
many.
The special game sucks. That was a great little stunt there. It was a big stunt. Oof. Oh, nice. Outnumbered in the cameras.
또 4초 나왔다가 포위 될수 있어요. 컨트롤룸 찾았다 무대가 올 때까지 좀만 더 기다려 봅시다.
I keep wondering if it was just gonna like kill all of them.
Yeah.
Like kill his whole team.
Jesus. Nice. Reload.
Great
Nice
match
cut.
cut.
Damn.
Great match cut.
탄창 확인해봐요. 난 반쯤 나왔어요.
난 반도 안 남았어. 여기요. 저 3분의 2요.
안 떨어져가요.
I wouldn't know what I'm looking at. I'd have to ask my wife.
나도 얼마 없어요.
You didn't even check.
혹시 대우야 또 들립니까? 그만하세요.
여기만 뚫으면 컨트롤룸 같은데. 아우 우리 둘이 잘 안 돼요. 지원 좀 보내줘.
하나 똑같이. 여기도 탄약이 부족해요.
Pull it off the dead guys.
주머니에 여분의 탄창이 있을 겁니다.
Exactly. Like a video game.
먼저 하고 나머지는 여길 지키다. 탄창을 가져오면 합류하는 걸로 하겠습니다. 저랑 먼저 하실 분.
제가 할게요.
저도 하겠습니다.
Good. People who could die.
Yeah. Got a
Don't know
couple
them that well.
expendables on your team.
Yeah. Not her.
Please no.
빨리 돌아올 테니까 현주 씨, 제가 할게요.
Whoa.
저 총알이 없어요. 가는 길은 알아요? 예, 오면서 카메라들을 부숴놨으니까 그냥 그대로 따라가면
Hands are trembling.
이거 가져가요. 가는 길에.
Oh my god.
어머!
Holy shit.
If I was Jun-Ho, I'd be totally selling this right now. Wow, this looks so new and different.
What is this
I've
place?
never seen anything. Wow.
Whoa.
Colors are cool.
When did we get purple?
탄창은 어떻게 됐어? 제가 하고 있는 중입니다.
대우야, 너 믿는다.
예 형님, 저 믿으십시오.
You're dead.
Please rise to the occasion.
So dead.
어머 좀 해줘.
뭐 하려고?
탄창 가져오게.
아유 너무 위험해.
탄약이 얼마 안 남았어.
I bet he's got like one bullet left.
대우가 올 때까지 버티려면 탄창이 필요해.
Jesus Christ. Wow. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Cool.
Scary.
That was his best friend.
I loved that square. Oh no, don't go in front of him. Oh. I don't know when I can give up the act, man.
All of them, they were like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah. Just letting this happen.
Oh, cool.
Nice POV. Oh, God, FPS, baby.
Tell you, it's like a video game.
Yeah.
A lot of this feels like you watched a video, you played a video game. It was like, I want to like bring some of this to life.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, no, what?
I don't know. He's just outnumbered in this room. I don't trust it.
제모야 모르겠습니다.
Uh-oh.
No.
Mind your surroundings,
Yeah,
Bruce
bro.
Wayne.
왜 혼자 돌아온 거예요?
탄창이요. 이 새끼들 바지에서 탄창 좀 찾아주세요.
You're in this now too, brother.
괜찮아, 조금 스쳤어.
It's a flesh wound.
죽으면은 나한테 죽을 줄 알아. 걱정 마, 너보다 오래 살 거니까.
Oh, I like their friendship.
컨트롤룸은 찾았어요?
바로 위에 있는 것 같은데 여기로는 못 올라가요. 다른 루트를 찾아봐 주세요.
올라오면서 여기 구조를 훑어봤는데 분명히 뒤로 돌아가는 길이 있을 겁니다. 저놈들 시선을 꽉 좀 붙잡아 주세요. 내가 길을 찾아서 뒤를 칠게요.
There's only like 5 minutes left in the show. I don't know what's going to happen.
Don't worry, they'll wrap this up.
Yeah. And that's how the series ended.
필요할 겁니다.
진짜 괜찮겠어요?
Oh, no.
가져올 겁니다.
Oh, God.
What a thankless fight. Hey, that ain't nothing, man.
That's
Look at
a
that.
lot.
Yeah. You got to be able to shoot. Someone got to be able to cover you. Dude, no. No.
Don't be scared.
Come on, man.
I mean,
Come on.
be scared, but proceed anyway.
Come on. Or did he like choke in battle? Was he an actual soldier, but he like has extreme PTSD?
I keep wondering if he was like dishonorably discharged.
Yeah.
여보세요, 어디에요? 플러스 클레어?
탄창은 어떻게 됐어요? 가져오고 있어요?
Come on, man.
배우 씨, 대답하세요.
Come on.
배우 씨.
Come on.
무슨 일이 생긴 것 같아요. 제가 내려가 볼게요.
If you die, I'm going to be so mad.
I think she'll be fine. It's funny. The one billboard I saw for this said brother versus brother. And that is not the season at all.
찾았어요. 그쪽에서 먼저 공격해서 주위를 끌어줘요. 그때 우리가 뒤에서 공격할게요.
예, 알겠습니다.
Fascinating.
What if he did want to tear it down in some way?
He could. He's been through it. He
I feel like he's
works
about to
in-
kill them.
Yeah.
I'm really
I don't
concerned.
like
I think he's
it.
about to kill them.
I don't like it.
Yep.
There it is. It's fun while it lasted.
What?
I don't know. Just damn. He did take another clip.
여기 씨 어떻게 될 겁니까? 공격하고 싶네.
Because they, I don't know. I don't know if every
I don't know
single
what just
pink
happened
knows his
there,
face.
but
It's nice to see him sweat after that.
I don't think he sweated.
I know, he added another thing, but for a second I was joyous.
무슨 일이에요? 괜찮아요?
여기 씨 대답해요. 여기 씨.
Ooh.
정리 시작해요.
What was the ploy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is hardcore, like a setup for season 3.
대우 씨, 어떻게 된 거예요?
탄창. 죄송합니다.
Uh-huh.
Don't have time for this. Shit.
Oh, is that the special game that they were saying? Like, this is the special game we're gonna play?
Maybe. I mean, yeah, because he knows. Jun-Ho probably told them, yeah. Blend in with us.
I mean, there's all footage that she totally is killing and left and right.
True.
I wonder if the people who didn't fight back will be spared.
Ah, crap. Where's 11?
Yeah, it's 100% of part 1.
Damn it, go to bed!
어떻게든 살아야죠.
White flag, white flag. Oh. Somehow, I don't think this will pan out for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, oh, is that 11?
That might be 11.
Oh, God, that's not
I could still be 11. I don't know. I don't know what her motivation is.
Came so close, didn't you?
Here he goes.
Show your true colors.
Quick change.
456번 영웅놀이는 재밌었나?
Ouch.
No.
잘 봐, 네 영웅놀이의 결과가 어떤 건지.
Wow. Cold.
Yeah.
Of course.
기훈아.
It would be too easy.
That's why he kept him alive.
Yeah.
Oh, man. He really, like, orchestrated so much just to drive a point home to Gi-Hun. Oh, man, bring on season 3, people. Jeez.
I don't even know what that would be at this point. That upside down tier.
390번 탈락.
Whoa, is that the end? Wow.
Wow, indeed.
Wow, when does season 3 come out?
That's it. The bleakest ending possible.
Is there a post-credit scene? Yeah, okay, there's. All right. It's an outtake.
It's the blooper reel.
Whoa. Oh, it must be a tease.
They got the green light for season 3.
Yeah, it's a tease for season 3. Oh, I think I can't remember if I heard they shot it back to back. That's what I was trying to say last episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would make a lot of sense.
Reject Nation, I'm here to interrupt this video just for a little bit to let you know that for a limited time at rejectnationshop.com, we have exclusive apparel, just like the one I am wearing right now on my body. This is the Reject sweater, the brainchild of the Shejects, Tara Erickson and Roxy Stryer. They really were like, you know, we don't want to just only do a Christmas one. We want it to be a full holiday celebration. I absolutely love this design. I've been wearing this sweater an awful lot wherever I go. It's a fantastic thing for you to gift yourself or to gift to someone else this holiday season. And the other things that were launched were the brainchild of one Aaron Alexander, something that I was jealous that I never thought of, and that is the Starbucks coffee. They got the Starbucks hoodie, they got the Starbucks coffee mug. There's also the Rejects mug as well. There's also, in addition to that, the Agatha Bruce hoodie. I absolutely adore all these designs. I am so impressed with the 3 of them we're able to concoct, along with the amazing artists who help support them, of course. We really care about finding material that fits very comfortable. Is it comfortable or comfortably? Language. And on top of that, too, designs that we really feel resonate with us and can also resonate with those who watch us. You beautiful Reject citizens. There's a barcode here that you can scan if you want to go to the shop, or you can go to rejectnationshop.com. Treat yourself or treat someone else. Either way, it's a great way to support the channel and to support your wardrobe collection. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I was saying it in the review for the last episode that I was getting an inkling like this feels like a part 1 of a season, not a full season.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely
and it
does.
Is more that than I even thought it would be.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, this is like definitely that. This is not even. This is like when The Hobbit has a cliffhanger. like oh, okay, you just
There's no way
definitely just cut it in half. Now we're gonna. It doesn't even feel like the end of a season. It literally feels like we got to the middle part of the bigger story of this 2-part season.
It's literally the Infinity War.
Yeah, it is.
Like
yeah,
we
yeah.
literally get to
Exactly.
the point where we lost, and now we have to do the
Thanos is
saga.
the tongue-in-cheek moment. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
The nice
and then
cheeky
Gi-Hun's going to
nod.
reverse it all.
That's right.
And then he's going to get them all back. In the
I
next season.
am Gi-Hun.
Yeah.
Then brings half the people back.
Yeah.
And half the money.
Whoa. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the finale of Squid Game season dose. I was first off like it if you could pass me that laptop. John.
Yes, of course. Anything I can do to help.
Thank you.
That's the rules. Whoa.
Well, what did you think, John?
Oh, I mean, that was very gripping, and certainly it's very satisfying to at least watch. I mean, you're spending the time waiting for the shoe to drop and waiting for Jun-Ho to reveal himself truly.
Sure.
Which, he hasn't to, obviously, Gi-Hun, but he has to us. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where now you're like, well, any thoughts I form will only be partial because the story's not done yet. But I thought this was a really thrilling, gripping, episode, certainly. And I do appreciate, I don't know, just what they've done so far feels like they really thought out, logically what we could do, and they justified a lot of things, I think, nicely with the earlier details in the season. And yeah, like, even though you get the sense, and especially as it becomes clearer toward the end of the episode, that this will not conclude really, like, I found it very thrilling and cathartic in ways, and also very tragic and upsetting in other ways. And I don't know, is again another very physical and very, action-oriented episode, even though the action is all a part of this big debate. And
there's action in the way of like how Heat has their action.
Sure,
it's not like hyper stylized like John Wickian, but it's kind of a blend of like how Michael Mann's Heat had action with some camera choices that were more video game-esque, and some like mission stuff like grab the ammo.
And fetch
hide
quests,
here,
and things like that, and like, oh, we need to find an alternate route. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I thought the way that they handled this and the way they used the setting that we know, so well from, traveling through this big, colorful, atrium of sorts, I thought that was really just nicely used. And yeah, watching the array of psychologies happen as they form their little unit. And I did appreciate that, yeah, it's not like they have an army. It's like most people don't get on board with this. Most people just wait and stand by because I think as a cross-section of society and as a debate about whether or not you can change a system from the inside of that poison system, you'll have a certain contingency of people who are going to choose, like, well, maybe if I don't join in with this and I don't rebel against the rules, maybe they'll take mercy on me. And I think that's conscientious that, like, a lot of the players still chose that, essentially. We're just going to wait here and see how this pans out. But yeah, I mean, as like a little mini raid or mini Dread 3D or something like that, this was pretty compelling, pretty gripping in a very physical way. I don't know, like, what the Jun-Ho stuff is going to conclude into. I know, we basically led up to that one reveal that, seemed inevitable with the ship captain and all that. But yeah, I mean, like, as one big nasty means of proving a point to Gi-Hun, I think it's, it certainly makes your blood run cold by the end. And now I'm just curious, as to like how many more episodes they'll have. And, it seems like at least to some degree the game is going to continue. Are they going to force Gi-Hun to keep going? Because that's clearly the greater torture than just killing him, obviously, on top of what they already did to his friend there. I keep wanting to commit people's names to memory, but either way, what did you think?
I overall I liked it. I did. There was plenty of moments I really, really enjoyed. It is probably I just gotta do. Okay, look, I know the rule of thumb
Yeah.
that every YouTuber tells you when you're reviewing, especially to keep the audience on board with you when they're watching, is you want to say the positives first, and then if there's like conflicting feelings or some negatives, let it like put it on after. That's usually what they say as the advice. I am a little bit conflicted about how we got to this big shift in the episode, because obviously for Gi-Hun, this is what he wanted the whole time. I feel like we needed one more episode before this one to really establish getting to that point with them of having a revolution against them, because it didn't really feel like it built up to this team, this group of people being like, you know what? No, it's these guys up above. They're treating us like the horde, like basically every belief that Gi-Hun has of them getting on, because that's what that turns into it in that moment. Even for what's the sergeant character, trans woman, forget her name. But even for her, she was hitting the O train. She needed the money.
Yeah.
Like there's these qualities to what led to this part that I was like, I'm not fully there with the whole group suddenly being like, no, we need to take out the bad. We need to take out the people at the top. This is our real enemy right here. Yeah. Instead of like just focusing on I thought it was actually stronger when they were just focusing on the X's and just trying to survive that and get out of that. Sure. And it was that motivation to get them all on board to fight for that I was a little lost by, because I don't feel like the season was doing anything that was of like the characters that we were watching go up against the people in charge of the Squid Games, of them feeling like they're trapped here because of them, and please there's like one character who got killed off in the last episode who was very much like, no, please let me leave, I want to get out of here, I don't want to be here anymore. But really it was the people on the O side who they were that really felt like those were their real enemies here. Mm-hmm. And even though Gi-Hun had a speech that was kind of moving by a little bit fast in terms of editing and cutting around timeline, I just didn't really get the time to, as an audience member, to like sit grounded in it to understand why the whole group was, even in Gi-Hun's friend who voted O for, against everyone. So they kind of just negated everything. And I feel like maybe if they even brought that up, I would have been more on board of like, but we need the money. That's why we're here. What are we going to do about the money? Mm-hmm. Even though Gi-Hun, I know in an earlier episode, did say, I will pay, I could help you settle your debts. That wasn't good enough for them before. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I do think that there was some missing beats there. I eventually just was like pushed that to the side to just get on board with like, okay, well, the choices happen. That's what's happening right now. So let me just like ride the train with what's occurred. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from on that, because I personally just don't feel like we really got a true motivation for them to go up against the team there, outside of our information of what we know about the dudes behind the scenes.
I get what you're saying. I'm not as bothered by it, partly because so many people do not join with him, and there are certain people who from the very beginning have sort of...
But why did the people who did join?
What in the moment at least kept me from being too hung up or questionable about that is the debates from earlier about like, should we listen to this guy who says he's been here before, or is this dude crazy? And like, even though certain things, they've done certain things obviously to discredit him, the higher ups have. I mean, I feel like your point is fair, and I can see why you would be feeling that. I guess what my justification is for that is like, like if I was in that position, I wouldn't really think it was an option, and especially with no perspective from before, I wouldn't really assume that there would be a strategy to overpowering the guards anyway. And like here, at least in the drawing of events, I was like, you know what? As much as it would be nice to have more time, and as the writer, you can find a way to do it. So like I can't really discredit the point there. In the unfolding of action, I did believe it in the terms of like, this is the opportunity as it has presented itself, and we're just going to have to take it, and anyone who's with me is with me, and anyone who's not with me is not with me. And yeah, I mean, like for the other people, I feel like sometimes you're just not entertaining the other option. And so it's like, well, we're stuck here anyway, and we have to play for this money. And they are clearly strict about the rules on that. So I imagine a lot of people aren't even thinking on that level of like, could we get a gun? Could we overpower them? And Gi-Hun has the perspective to suggest such a thing. So I don't know. All those things kept me from getting too hung up on it, or kept it from bothering me. But I also wouldn't mind another episode to really interrogate that. Like I'm not sitting here going like, I think you're wrong, but it didn't detract or feel like it was missing in my experience of it.
That's good,
I guess.
Yeah, I think it really meant, like, especially for Hunju, who that is the character's name. I looked it up. Yeah. Hunju, I think that's how you say her name.
Sure.
She was very clear of why she voted O prior, you know, and it was no one was ever debating about these people are trapping us here, and they're the ones we got to take out. And like I think their solution would have been fine with getting out outside of Gi-Hun's own personal motivation, because they don't have any of these. I never saw anything with those characters that was like, look what these guys are doing to us. And nor did I see them be motivated by Gi-Hun to feel what Gi-Hun was saying about, look what these higher ups, these people are doing to us. I never saw anyone get moved by that motivation.
There are two beats that I think for me did speak to that, which was In-Ho pointing out they are going to choose 2 for the merry-go-round game because they want us to not have enough. It's not even just about us being able to find the right amount of people. It's they are making sure that there won't be enough so that at least at maximum only 100 of us survive. And so I feel like that plants part of that seed. And then there's also the debate of, well, now they want us to kill each other, but also they're going to stop us from killing too many of each other because they want the games to continue. And so that at least spoke to like it's actually
wait, that latter part, where was that?
It's tied up in the bathroom thing because they send the folks in, and it's in when they come back to the barracks and they put the lights out, and they're like, okay, we got to strategize because they're going to try and kill us when the lights go out. Okay. And I think In-Ho or somebody says something about like, you know, they're gonna send people in eventually because they can't just have us all kill each other to the point where the games can't continue, because that's not allowable. But they will allow us to kill enough of each other and plant these incentives for us to do so enough that it will happen, and that's part of it. And that comes from the game masters, you know.
Okay. So the money doesn't matter to the people where the money mattered anymore.
That's a part of it where I think you're absolutely right. Like there should have at least been like some lip service paid to the whole, like, what happens to the money? Because if we manage this mutiny, but we don't get any, we walk out of here with nothing, and now we have to go back to life.
I guess when you get to that point in a show where they're fighting back, I want to be there feeling, and maybe you were, and I'm not okay with that. If we're feeling something that I'm not feeling, John, I really hate if we are not 100% the same human being.
Well, and I would fully admit that there are elements
I didn't feel it like I'm saying I didn't feel like a catharsis of you know, when you are finding that moment. I'm glad Gi-Hun's getting what he wanted, but like everyone else, I'm like, I don't really feel that as like a collective.
Well, I think for me there could be. I will readily admit that like being caught up in the.
And I feel like I've gotten so hung up on this one thing.
But it's important.
And it's completely negating the fact that like there was so much about this episode that I really did love. And I'm like, but I'm totally getting so hung up on this one thing. But it's such a pivotal moment that I feel like that's the core motivation of this entire episode.
100%. And I think it is an under recognized nuance of taking in any art that sometimes you can watch something that has so many qualities, but the couple things that maybe let it down or could have been a couple important elements that are crucial not quite hitting can be the taste left in your mouth on top of so many other things that are great. And I think that's I would readily admit that like you want to see them take down the system somehow, and I got very caught up in like the immediate emotion of just that, like watching. I could see how in my mind it would be easy maybe to get caught up more in the feeling. and it's more interesting to me is like what kept you from being as catharsed by just seeing it, which is not a wrong thing either. I'm like, I could imagine that just seeing it happen, worked on me in some way. But again, I don't think your criticisms are wrong in the actual philosophy of how we get here and how we get the other people on board, Because like there are seeds enough that I could at least be like shadow of a doubt, or like, well, if you take this one detail and run with it yourself, but it's also up to the show to not have to necessitate that you do that,
You're very kind, John. That's my main qualm with it is that. So I don't feel like we really had a proper build to what that ultimately was. I feel like the characters in season 1 would be more justified than what happened here, honestly.
Yeah.
Especially because it was such a constant democratic voting process, and I feel like there ought to have been more of a moment paid to that. And like I said, it's kind of like how I felt with House of the Dragon season 2. Like, maybe one more episode might have helped flesh this final episode out a bit more, But as it stands, I mean, there's still plenty of things I like. I did like the action. I thought the visuals of that were cool, and I actually really respect the shit out of the ending. I think the ending is awesome because I like an ending where you go, well, you can't just do the Squid Games again. What the hell is going to happen this time around? It kind of reminds me of like the ending of Hunger Games Part 2, because in a lot of ways I think you could liken this to the Hunger Games story. Hunger Games 1, all right, you're thrust in the world, get it, rich people watching, paying, da-da-da-da. It was like a lot of Hunger Games things. Hunger Games 2, like, okay, we're doing the Hunger Games again, but there's some twists happening here. It's not exactly how we think it's going to go. And then it ends in a way where like, well, you can't just do the Hunger Games again. now something different's going to happen. Now there is some type of like a revolution here happening, and the cliffhanger of putting Gi-Hun in this position, I think, is a very strong one. And to kill off the best friend like that was a smart maneuver too. And I didn't actually see that one coming as well. And I like the trap because you're like, I have no idea what's going to happen with any of them. The mystery of Jun-Ho, like we don't really know why he was doing what he was doing other than to obviously drive home a fucking point. In
the most protracted way possible.
I will sacrifice everyone who works for us.
I am going to go so deep undercover.
Saying, I am right, you're wrong. I'm going to take this to the extreme.
Well, some hero you are, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I must justify my philosophical stance to the extreme. And I don't know, maybe there's some way he's also trying to convert him. It seems like he wants to convert him out of respect for the games, because he is ultimately the winner of the last game, that he maybe does want him to get on board.
See as I see.
As a respectful way of respecting the games. But in terms of respecting the game, I'm like, you kind of disrespected the entire game, which is like, it's really thwarted to me what he did. But I like that, though. I like the discussion. If the show decides to discuss it, I like the discussion around that, because he wasn't, to my understanding, he wasn't part of Red Light, Green Light, unless we just didn't see him there. But I remember in the first episode,
he was watching for a minute, and it doesn't seem like anybody else wears that. His replacement is a square guy, so
he was watching.
Yeah,
so he wasn't part of the first round. He just inserted himself to throw some wrenches in here after seeing what Gi-Hun was doing. By letting Gi-Hun in here, I think that's messing with the purity of the game.
Sure, someone has an advantage based on prior knowledge.
Yeah, no, it's not fair at all. Like I think that alone messes with the game. It's like all these people are here all to what feels like. I don't even feel like you keep asking about the VIPs. I'm like, I don't think the VIPs are here. I feel like
they don't feel like they are.
I feel like this is one big orchestra. This
is all for you.
Just to be like, see,
Gi-Hun, yeah.
And it's like maybe he is the guy in charge of all of it now. Now that I feel like, because Il-nam seems like the one who ran it, and then now that Il-nam's dead, maybe he is the one who actually runs it now.
It's like inherited it, yeah.
Yeah. Smart maneuver. I like that they don't tell you who the captain is on the ship.
Yeah.
That they just leave that, even though it was obvious that he was really not a good guy. I like how they leave that to theorize and to be like, who is this guy forever?
Yeah.
You know? So there's a lot of smart things that were going on, and I think it's cool to have, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Hunju. Hunju. It's really cool to get a badass trans character.
Yeah.
It is really cool to get like if you're gonna have a trans character in here and have some real commentary about what it means to be trans, sure, like I'm totally fine with that, totally cool. And I think it's just really refreshing to be like, oh, thank God you made her like actually like badass in the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and she was like
Very
kind of badass the
capable.
whole time. You know, she was always that leadership side always was demonstrated, even in the first mini games round. It was always there. And I think to really like hammer it home like that also doesn't feel like you're throwing it in my face.
Sure.
Like no one was like, "Well, the trans person was," you know?
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Curious about the actor too. Obviously we don't.
Saying played by a cisgender actor, Park Sung-hoon.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is going to be every possible opinion on that choice there. That's interesting. I mean, I think it's a terrific performance regardless. I know there's a whole other conversation to have about casting, cis people to play trans people and all that. That's above my, philosophical pay grade. Or at least I am still in a position to be kind of learning in terms of that conversation. But I do, at least in isolation of the context of the show, I've loved that character and really enjoyed that performance quite a bit. And yeah, like the fact that you get a lot of very sympathetic and a lot of very sort of
apparently it is a big controversy. I was looking on Google right now.
I was going to say the second that info dropped in, I was like, oh, interesting. Yeah, because I mean, obviously, I guess in an ideal world, you would want to cast somebody who has lived that experience, and then you open up the conversation about like, well, anybody should be able to play anybody, but what are the lines? And we're not here to solve that problem right now. And like
I can solve it
in some ways. Like it is it's an interesting wrinkle to add to all this.
I'm subtly not connected to this character.
I mean, I'm still very much, again, in isolation of the show, and I don't want to hijack the video, because if anybody gets to this point and hears us even acknowledging this, there's going to be a whole like, oh, woke shit in the comments, and I don't want that to overshadow this video. But it is a fascinating wrinkle.
I think it's annoying. I think it's really annoying that people respond that way.
Yeah.
When I'm like, we're just talking about it. It's like anytime you talk about it, you're going to get no matter what opinion we form, if we're gonna get crap from some camp, and
you can hold two ideas.
I'm not here to like defend myself against anything. Bottom line is like I'm not strong enough versed in the subject of it to begin with.
We're not the right people to tell you whether that was the right choice or not. And yeah, it's a great performance and a well-written character. And in an ideal world, yes, an actual trans person would play this part. And it's hard to maybe believe that no trans woman out there could have done it. And I don't know if that's what the excuse is for that. But either way, the handling of the theme, I think, has been a nice thing to introduce. And the compassionate window you get into who the character is, and then the reveal of, oh, I was ex-military. Oh, I was a sergeant.
We still don't know what specifically the trans community is like in Korea.
Also that.
When it comes to that stuff, Yeah,
because I got to imagine every country has its own iteration of this conversation, and
1,000%.
and they touch on at least briefly the whole thing about like, oh, in Thailand this is much more common, which I don't know if that's true. I imagine it's based on a true perspective that's possibly out there. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting no less, and I guess it's better to broach the conversation than to avoid it entirely, especially in a show that wants to draw, again, a cross-section
They're
of
a
society.
main character. You got to talk about them. You got to talk about them.
Yeah.
And as a character, I think it's a very strong character. So I'll just keep the conversation to that. Very, very strong character. And who else was in this episode, John? This might have been my least favorite of the 7. Honestly.
In ways, I could see why. I think there are aspects of it that are really strong, and for the Infinity War quality of like how it comes to a head. But there's the most I think you can debate, and I can absolutely see why this wouldn't necessarily, because it's got to function in two ways. It's got to keep you hooked and not give you so much that you're not ready and anxious for season 3, but it's also got to conclude in a well-rounded fashion for the chapter break that it is.
I think first season, I know first season was 9 episodes. This is 7.
Yeah.
And I understand deleting 1 episode. you know,
yeah.
The choice to bring it down to 7 is kind of peculiar to me in retrospect now. And yeah, I do think in terms of like a whole season, you know, a lot of people walk into this. I've been so unclear this whole time if they shot season 2 and 3 back to back. I'm so unclear on that. And they don't say that at the top of this show.
Yeah.
That, hey, this is just part 1. You will get season 3 soon. You know, they don't make that clear up front. And I think that what they did with Jun-Ho was maybe they'll completely make up for it in season 3. I do find it a bit of a letdown of how that side of the story was handled. I think even if you compare it to season 1, it gets a little worse. Without that, I do think like this is really engaging. Now this is not really engaging. It's kind of just every time we cut back to them, we don't know where we are.
Yeah. We're just on a big red herring hunt.
Yeah, this is it. And we just keep coming back to them when it started off on the first couple of episodes as this is the main character, and especially when you end the season with the big reveal that they are brothers. To have a little bit of that be kind of lost in the background. Again, I imagine they're going to like really hammer that shit home in the following season.
I wonder if maybe the second season will take a shift to where not that Gi-Hun isn't going to be still a main driving force, but I could see from the position that we leave him in how he might be quite discouraged even, and we might get Jun-Ho taking a greater driving force in the plot and in the screen time and all that stuff. Maybe.
Yeah.
Could be. You know, I could see how it almost might split. First half is really driven by Gi-Hun. Second half, much more driven by Jun-Ho. Remains to be seen, but I could imagine it. But it doesn't, quite fix. Because in this moment, like I wouldn't have known if we hadn't looked at anything after the fact and we were just here with no knowledge of like back-to-back shooting. I would just be like, so what is it? It seems like it's got to continue, but I don't know, like what is happening here. And so without that certainty, it does feel like, oh man, Jun-Ho started off, like you said, in a very active role in the first couple episodes, and it looks like, oh man, he and Gi-Hun are going to be aligned. And then it was joking, but I wasn't really joking. Each time we would cut back to them in the later episodes, I was like, oh yeah, you guys, you guys are in the show.
I forget about them.
Yeah, every time they come back to the ship, I'm like, that's right, which is not exactly ideal.
Yeah.
Especially on the heels of how distinct and how much tension they drew out of him in the first season.
Yeah. Gunplay cool. This is very this was very straightforward in how it was done.
These last 2 episodes especially, were very, very to the point. Very physical. You still have the looming debate of the the conversation, the subtext, all that stuff, but it's much more immediate and much more action oriented than some of the balance that they had struck in episodes 1 through 5 anyway.
Yeah. I'm really I can't get over it. I'm really hung up on that. I know I'm annoying everyone who loves this with all their heart and purity, as if this was some fandom that existed prior to this Netflix show ever existing. But yeah, I'm a little hung up on it because I like so much of the driving. I feel like that's why I think it actually bothers me. I think it dropped the theme in order to get to this ending point that obviously the writer-director wanted to get to, which was, we got to get to this cliffhanger. We got to get to this moment. So that it has to end on this episode. We have to get to this. This has to be the final episode. Not saying like when he was writing like, oh, this has to be a final episode. I'm saying like he probably had that in mind as an outline, and then we have to get there to end it. The whole season was about, the conversation's very clear with Gi-Hun being like, no, we have to stop the games. It's cruel what you guys are doing, yada, yada, yada. Captain saying this is about the games will continue as long as people stay the same. And then watching like a microcosm of society within how they are forming, that whenever they have the opportunity to leave, that there's still a fight for it. Even when all this death is happening, Gi-Hun's point of view keeps getting kind of shattered. What he's fighting for keeps getting shattered because people still keep staying, keep choosing to stick around and kick it. And the money thing is just the greed is such a driving force, and that conversation just totally gets canned out of nowhere to me. And I think that's why it bothered me the most.
It's like the populist debate, loses some efficacy when you break away from the population, and go on a separate side quest.
I think that's why I think it was so important to acknowledge that. Even if the other side was like, do you know what you guys are robbing us of right now? Unless they're under the assumption that they can kill all these people and they can just walk away with a big piggy bank.
And then we'll all kill each other to get more money instead of dividing it up equally.
Yeah, because that's been kind of like the center point of the debate of everything, right?
Yeah.
Is, wow, we have an opportunity to get out of here and someone can educate us. Like, this is what this can do to us. And I think that kind of gets dropped. And I think even Gi-Hun as a character sometimes just sort of feels like this one simple constant at a certain point.
He's very compelling to watch, and I
because he's him.
Yeah, he's a great actor, and you're with him on his mission. But there's
way more straightforward.
There's less dimension for him to traverse. He is it's cool in a way to see him so determined, so resolved, so intense, and so steadfast. But the first season you have a whole journey of emotions with him in a wholly other way, and he's transforming as a different guy. Whereas like the arc here for him is more about holding the line rather than changing,
I feel like there's just one more in the actual episode that occurred and I just can't remember what it is that really stood out to me.
The death of Thanos, the lack of 11.
Yeah, that too. That felt, yes, thank you. I still feel like if you do, like, I compared the cliffhanger to The Hobbit and not Lord of the Rings intentionally.
Sure.
Because those movies, the 1 and 2, just feel like, oh shit, it's over.
Yeah.
Whereas it's feeling like a complete chapter of a larger story. Like, this does not feel like a complete chapter to a larger story. And partly with shit like that is just kind of dangling. The guy with the daughter, maybe he's not actually dead and he was just shot. Like, my theory is he was shot to be put into the box, but he's still alive because she knows they do that.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, he would just be executed because everyone else is being executed.
Yeah.
So I believe she still shot him.
Yeah.
And the guy's not unceremoniously dead after all that.
Yeah.
That's what I think happened.
Sure. I can see that.
Because he didn't cut to her at all. So I feel like next season they're gonna be like, "Oh shit,
yeah,
you're still alive."
Yeah. Well, and two, what is all this mutiny? We still don't know really where she stands in all this, because in one breath you could argue it seems like she's trying to preserve the purity of the game. She's just like, I'm here to do my job, and that guy should have died, so that's my job, and I don't care what other operation you guys have going on. But I don't know if the mutiny attempt will affect her in any way, And I mean, they've made such a point about, like, you escaped North Korea, like, on your own, overpowering soldiers to get out of there. So, like, certainly that sets up the idea that if she had to escape from here in some way violently, she probably could, or at least has the experience to inform that attempt. But it is interesting. Yeah, it definitely started to feel like this was the first chunk of something, which I guess softens some of the blow. It's weird. It's like I'm trying to isolate the exact point where I stopped expecting this to wrap up in a fully rounded way. Because there is dangling stuff like that, and on the one hand, my brain goes, "Well, that's an interesting mystery," because I know now that this isn't done and this is the first half of something. But if just in isolation, if this was Arcane season 2 and we're just done now, I would be like, "Oh, that's weird. Why? Why didn't we?
Sure, yeah.
Why didn't we at least touch on that?"
I have way bigger problems with the finale of Arcane season 2 than I do with this. But in terms of this season finale, it does just feel like it's episode 7, and then we'll continue with episode 8 later. That's just how it sort of concludes. Yeah, the death of Thanos in here was a smart death.
Yeah.
I wish the one guy did not die. No. I wish I'm glad the one guy did not die. The boyfriend, right? The YouTuber guy.
333 and 222 seem okay right now.
He seemed incredibly unlikable in the beginning, but he's really actually like rather grown on me as time has progressed.
It's been a nice arc.
I really think next season needs to fully flesh out whatever the hell In-Ho's motives are. Very fascinated by it.
Yeah.
I thought there was a lot of great action shots that they got to do. It seemed like sometimes where I think the creator of the show, he wanted to do some cool visual. He said in the first episode, I remember saying like, this feels like an action show now.
Yeah.
And then it concludes this way. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he's got a bit of a Michael Mann flair where it's going to be mainly drama. And then even with the way the games are done, the games are a lot more like it's very physical. The games, there's nothing like, like the game of like fucking like carve something out is a really not an action type of a thing.
Yeah, or we're gonna play some marble game together.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Overall, I do feel like season 1 is undoubtedly a lot stronger. But as a season 2, I thought this was a really fun season, and I loved the journey all the way. And I the only time I really felt conflicted about a choice was the final episode. Yeah. But it also ended in a way where it got me really excited for how season 3 will progress. I know most people who have listened to this have not made it to that point. And they're probably like, Greg just hates everything and is negative, and John likes everything and is the best person ever.
Well,
and that's
what I will say is it always takes time too, because like certainly at the end of Arcane, for example, like, I think you were much more quick on the draw of like, oh yeah, there's some things about this that are a bit off. And in the moment I was like, definitely can acknowledge that, but I'm still like chuffed on the experience. And then as the days went by, I was like, as much as I think there's tons of great work in every episode of that season, I am like, damn, though, if they had not rushed this could have been much better. And I think this is, on the whole, stronger in those terms, in the sense that this has felt very thought out, very pounded and folded and pounded again. But being that it has to live up to something that did feel quite well-rounded the first time, it is interesting to note. And it's like, something like an Infinity War and an Endgame, they need each other but have to be able to stand on their own. And I think this does a pretty good job of standing on its own, but not all the way. And I wonder if in the coming days, like I said early on in this review, that initial rush of like, yeah, I want to see them take it to the upper guys and I want to see them mount this offensive. Maybe the rush of that will wear off and I will be like, yeah, but some of those thematic elements could have been better, and maybe that aftertaste will get stronger in my mouth.
You make a really good point, though, with the consistent comparison on the Infinity War side of it, is because what a lot of people have said about Infinity War is, and this is what I believe the Russo brothers and the writers did say, is that is Thanos' movie. That's Thanos' perspective, and a lot more. And I really felt like this was In-Ho's season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to have it be like this is more his season, because everything's still circled around him the whole time, right? The brother's trying to get to the games, stop him.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What's our main character?
Gi-Hun.
Yeah. He's on his he's trying to get to the games to stop him.
Yeah.
He's trying to get to him. Everything's about getting him, and then he's so involved in this season. His face is shown through so much of this season. He's such a prevalent character.
And in the same way we never really go through his perspective, we're still always called to focus and observe him.
Yeah. So I think that might be the perfect comparison for all. I mean, he might have been inspired by it. I mean, like they really draw attention to the Thanos thing. Yeah. It's like, and again, like the self-awareness probably goes really hand in hand. With it. So yeah, I am so excited for season 3. I'm very, very excited for season 3.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a lot of pressure to live up to that.
Yeah.
And I hope, though, that there's such great character arc and character struggles to mine. And that's the only thing I hope they don't drop the ball on, because I find they show the most. That's the thing, too, about a big shootout is I feel like in the games, as like entertaining and exciting they are, you're watching kind of like a character internal turmoil constantly going on and trying to figure it out. And like even them in the second game with the mini games, which I found to be the best one of all the games in this season.
Yeah.
Like they're learning to work as a team and understand each other and respect, and like all these different elements coming out of them. Even the cowardly guy who's really good at the one game where you have to catch it all and like getting the backgrounds on them.
Yeah, catch the Infinity Stones.
All that stuff I think is so you get real character stuff still happening, and in a shootout you don't really get that as much.
Just don't die and hit your target.
You get the one Marine guy who panics and falls apart, and I like that touch. But yeah, it is very just like so straightforward because you're just watching a shootout, and
yeah, and these last two episodes,
mine is so racing right now.
No, for sure.
I need to eat something.
Yeah, the last two episodes definitely skew more physical than it's like spending time in all these other more either spending time between games or spending time in a game that forces teamwork and various other like qualities to be called upon. Yeah, you get more revealed there, and that's more interesting overall.
But shit, man, I thought that was a great time.
True.
I thought it was a great time.
Really thrilling. Easy to binge, but also not in the way where like, oh yeah, the beginning and ending is always good. Like it's always compelling throughout every episode.
Yeah, and there were highlights in this season that I feel like they outdid themselves in certain moments, you know?
Yeah.
Like the exploration of the salesman to Jun-Ho, I thought was so good. That was so good. Like, goddamn, what an amazing way to start the season. That it feels so thematically tied in for how even though he's in only that one episode, and he dies in that one episode. I love that it like thematically stays on board. Like that ending conversation kind of dictates the entire theme of it. You know.
God, how long ago that feels now.
Yeah. and to end on this moment for a heartbreaking moment for him, which is kind of a cool thing to do, to bring back. It's like it feels like he recruited. He had to have known that was Gi-Hun's like best friend, right? Because the whole thing with like monitoring the horse racing and all that stuff, they were all doing that. His friend was there, so they brought him over just to drive this point home, and that's why he kept him alive.
Yeah,
I think that's such a smart move, because you're like, I don't know why he's keeping him alive.
Yeah,
I don't know why he like fought so hard to keep him alive.
No,
in the last episode, it's like, oh my god, he did that just to kill him in front of Gi-Hun. Like brilliant. Like they set him up as a villain who you actually don't really want to watch die, because it weirdly gives you a semblance, even though he's manipulating. I'm kind of there being like, I have a little bit of hope that you might be an all right guy.
Yeah, maybe it's more than I realized.
But it's probably because you're just such a damn good liar. You know?
Yeah, it's actually because you're so committed to the game that,
Yeah, I think that's great.
There's that jigsaw twisted thing.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think what they did with them as characters there is so good.
True.
So yeah, overall I would say I loved the season. I wouldn't even be like, hey, I really liked it a lot. I loved the season.
Yeah.
My biggest conflicts came in the form of a massive plot decision that didn't feel as imbued in character as everything else has been.
Yeah.
And that's why I was bothered by it. I should have just found that thought at the very beginning of this.
Sometimes it takes an hour to
like
find
45
that
minutes
nugget
of talking. I'm not going to say any final thoughts, as we got to end it, John.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, John, I'm done.
See you in season 3.
See you season 3, guys. Happy New Year. Bye.